Hey there, welcome back to more Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe. On the last one, I have unlocked one of the many endings that they added to this game, and now let's go look for new ones. Because gosh darn it, there's a lot of other endings from the original game that I have not unlocked yet. Alright, saw the intro, so I can just skip that. Hold on, my mouse wire got stuck on the monitor leg thingy? No, not the leg. The monitor neck stand, whatever you call it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So last time I played this game, the Ultra Deluxe content was through this way, down this hallway, and hold on. New content. Wait. Okay, last time I went through this door for the new content, but it says new. So, is there something different?
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't expect new content in the same door. Must be like the DLC content door. That's like its permanent spot. So yeah, the brand new ending that they added on the last one was kind of funny because it, broke the fourth wall. The narrator was reminiscing on the game's past and reading some positive and negative reviews. It was kind of funny.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be.
Right.
The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, I'm liking where this is going.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I mean, I don't doubt it. Oh, they have the word two in different languages. I see dos, that's Spanish for two. Taste the sequel.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Alright, what's this? We got some sort of slideshow with a bunch of Stanley Parable 2s in different fonts. Stanley Parable, Stanley Parable, Parable, Stanley Parable. Thanks for attending my meeting. That's their pitch. The Stanley Parable 2. Honestly, there's really nothing else much you can say about it. If they legitimately were making a 2, which maybe they are thinking about it, maybe they are already trying to develop one. Honestly, I can imagine it being a bigger game. Co-op. Yeah, this looks like co-op. Imagine co-op in Stanley Parable. How would that work?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, it's City, yeah, Divinity, Original Sin 2, Doom 2, Aladdin 2, Return of Jafar, Dark Souls 2, Aladdin 2. Are they referring to the game or the movie? there were a lot of Disney films and animation that got a sequel, and I think it went straight to DVD. Valid investors, this way to the show floor. New features. New content. The Stanley Parable 2, just plastered everywhere.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Oh, I get to try out the features? Enjoy, ... the new features. Okay, what are these features? What am I looking for?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Okay.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Oh, I don't know. I spent the last 22 years with the name Axel, so I need more preparation for being Jim. But I think I'm ready.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Jim.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
My Jim button. Don't take it from me. Oh, you're such a party pooper. Where'd it go? Trying to read what that says there. It'd be funny if one of the profiles was Jim. Is the door open? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so I can just go back out and go to a different room. So far, I'm loving the pitch. Having a Jim button, or I guess a button that says your name, that is pretty innovative.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Man, I get a creepy vibe because this whole time I'm by myself, but except there's like a voice in my head, the narrator, and whenever he stops talking, I'm like completely alone. Settings World Champion. Infinite Hole. Free achievement. Free. New plus easy achievement. It just works. I can't believe it's that simple. Get it here. Pull a lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Okay, I see. All right, makes sense. You can't do everything, but you're still trying.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
You have the jump circle, but I do not have any jumps.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
That's unfortunate. Let's go to that infinite hole. That sounds very intriguing. Settings world champ. Where's the hole? Did I go the wrong way? No, hold on. Oh, the hole's this way. The arrow's trying to point. Okay, is this one? Please, no screenshots. I'm screen recording. Is that okay?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh, I get to choose. Get well someday. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece. Well, who's stepniece and do I care?
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece, it is.
Cool. Oh, look at that. They actually decorated the place.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Cool. I see you got merch. The end is never the end again. This t-shirt is the best new feature. We got the peace sign acting as number 2. I saw the new content. I like the brain design. That's kind of cool because this game kind of fucks with the brain with no condom. Now, where's that hole? Still looking for the hole. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. That way? Jump circle, infinite hole. It's that way. The baby is all grown up. What's that sound? Wait, am I tripping? I hear some buzzing sound. Red is the new orange. Orange is new black. Have y'all seen that show? Is that me? Is that Stanley? Collectibles. It won't end. Time depth. I failed math. I have no idea what that means. Opening, rim, depth, infinite, Surrounding area. Now that I can understand. There's like a lot of Smarties stuff, and I'm not sure if that's real or is made to like confuse me.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I hate to break it to you, but it's been done in other games on accident. Should I really jump down there? This might be the only way to exit out of this expo hall. Now that I think about it. Unless there's maybe another, like, actual exit.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
I can teleport? Press G to return to the surface.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Why getting worried? I thought it was infinite.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Alright, guess we're done here. Press G to teleport.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okay, so that was not the exit. But I was right for keep falling, because I was thinking something was going to happen. Because sometimes when they make you wait, nothing happens. And other times like this, something does actually happen. So what else does the Expo have to offer me? I've pretty much been everywhere. But except the collectibles. Collect them all. Whoa, that's cool. Looks like space.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh my god, look at all this. Mine. Yeah, I got 1 out of 6. So are they all scattered around the expo, or are they now scattered around the game after I restarted?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Oh, there's the exit. Well, I think I'm done here, because let me just check back here if I've done anything missing. Jump circle, this map, free achievement, the button name merch, setting world champion, can't go in there. The Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. What is that? Reassurance bucket. The Stanley Parable 2. The Stanley Parable 2 reassurance bucket. What does a bucket do?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh, can I hold it?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Thank you for the bucket. That's very kind of you. I like it.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Alright, now that I've done everything here in the expo, I think it is time for me to leave with my handy dandy bucket. Alright, the exit should be right over here. Past these lines. Exit. So, do I get to keep the bucket, or are they going to take it from me after I'm done with this playthrough?
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, there's a random purse here. Hello?
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, I'm playing the sequel. Hey there guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Axel and I'm playing the Stanley Parable 2. Let's take a look at the settings. Okay. Looks pretty great. Begin game. You know, I really like the original, so I can't wait to see what they do with the sequel.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh my god, guys. It finally came out. The Stanley Parable 2. Alright. Gotta get used to the controls. It's been a while. Okay, let's get out. Ooh, love the decorations.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Usually I go with the saying, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, but they somehow fixed it even though it wasn't broken. That's weird. Oh, bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes, I did indeed pick up the bucket. I like how this balloon has his own chair. So, what does Stanley do with the bucket? Do I piss in it?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Right. My left.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
You know, honestly, for this playthrough, I should
And
have...
here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
For this playthrough, I should have done what the narrator told me to do. To hear the new dialogue first before diverging.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
I'll go back to you later. Don't worry about it.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
You know, I'm not going to lie. So far, this feels exactly like the original, but except with an added bucket. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to call out the developers. It's kind of lazy coding.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
No reward? Thank goodness. Of course, I want to do it all for no reason. I don't know, maybe the game's gonna give me like some sort of secret achievement, maybe?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But
I knew it!
Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay, now I'm... Oh, another one!
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or what about...
Stanley figs?
Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I like Stanley figs. Stan figs. But hey, call it whatever you want. You know, it's a crime that they didn't actually made a purchasable Stanley figure for you to buy physically.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Oh yeah, thank you for the bucket. I feel much safer with it. Now I'm looking around every corner for the Stanley fig.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
No doubt there's a fig probably down that way, but I want to stick with the first playthrough. You know, now that I think about it, in the very beginning, there was actually another button you could have pressed at the very end that I never pressed, so I wonder what happens when you do that.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Well, bucket, we're about to find out. What have they been doing all these years?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
It's alright, don't cry, don't cry, stop it. Oh wow. You know, I wonder if there is an actual company that does this, you know? They have like walls full of screens.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
No, it can't be.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
No.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
Hold stuff.
These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
It's mine, cum bucket!
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it.
No.
His own life in someone else's control? Never!
Never.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
My friend.
At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
My only friend.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Huh. I see there's buttons here with numbers labeled on them. Pretty sure that unlocks some sort of secret ending. But I gotta stay focused. I will take care of that on a next playthrough. Not the next playthrough, but the next playthrough.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Shh, it's all quiet.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay, so I'm now getting a feeling they want me to do that without the bucket. Because if I do, then I'm just gonna get the regular old ending. How can we find the mall? Small floating objects appeared across the office. We have to synergize our resources to ensure their retrieval. There are many questions. There were no memo from management.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Or
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because I feel like it. No explanation.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
It's a broom closet. Kind of snuggy.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
I don't have friends.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Fuck you.
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Hell yeah. That's right.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
What?
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Okay, I guess that was it.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you too. Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
That's funny. I like how you call me player 2. I'm now canonically a different player. Hey there, guys. My name is Alex. How's it going? The first guy, the Axel, that loser, that fucking loser, just died. So we had to get rid of his body. Alright, so we went back all the way over here because I want to see what the other button does.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent,
Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say,
Not now.
2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start.
Charge? How do you charge this?
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Oh yeah, just
These
fucking
are
pressure me.
precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing
shut
in this
up!
room. These numbered buttons.
I'm trying.
These colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in.
Oh, you're such a
until the
dick.
moment I say,
Oh, you're such a massive dick.